There's something going on to where young ladies are not instructed that they're kind of like individual entities that are to be acquired. The whole point of a relationship from a man to a woman is acquisition. That's the whole point. So what you have is supposed to be acquired. That's how it's looked at least in the mind of most men, right? And I think sometimes that's where we're having this clash occur, because lives are being developed, babies are being born that aren't mine, connections are being made that I had nothing to do with. And now you have all this life, great, but then I'm still looking to acquire you.
I got you.
But I'm gonna be honest. We keep it honest on here. I think that's what me and Cinnamon going through right now.
Uh-oh.
I think Cinnamon, she want a job like for no reason. I've been taking care of her since I was 24. She was 19, going on 20. Everything. And that's the type of man I am. But it's something in her that keep on. It's 10 years, 12 years.
You know what it is?
Every bill, every whole, like everything. I take care of everything. That's the type of man I want to be.
You know what it is though?
What?
Not to even cut you off. Is the issue with that is the same way we think. We come from the trenches. So regardless of how successful we still out there pushing hard every day. We still out there doing podcasts, we creating content, we making money doing this. Why? Because I don't ever want to go back to that nigga when I was 12 years old and I couldn't buy them Jordans. 12 years old and I couldn't do this. So I want to make sure that regardless of what's going on, I'll be able to take care of me.
Yeah, and I look at it more so like I have a 7-month-old son.
Right.
Like anything, God forbid, anything happens, I need to make sure my son is good. So, like you said, survival mode.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'll be in. Like, yeah, I'm very appreciative and all that, like what you do, but I want to make sure I have it on my own.
Absolutely. And that's something when you become a mother, I don't know, it's just something that kind of just clicks.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sure you're doing a great job and have been. But like she said, she got a little baby to care after. So it's like, I want to make sure that things are good and smooth sailing for me and the family. I won't just say sin and the baby, but for everybody.
Say it's my son too. I
know that's what I said.
No.
But you know, for everybody, it kind of makes you want to be like, dang, I want to be a part of this. I want to put something on the table. She doesn't have to, but she wants to. And I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
There ain't really nothing wrong with it.
Except when you start stepping on our ability to do that for you, because that's our job. Man, we need a mission. So if your ass is super independent, super self-sufficient, then we get the question of what our role is.
So hear me out. We need a mission as well. We don't want to just be doing laundry and cooking spaghetti.
Or just say.
But here's the thing. Your ass not just doing laundry and doing that.
That's what I was doing.
Your ass is raising our kid. Your ass is setting the tone for the house. Your ass is supporting me to be able to go out there and do what I need to do. Like, your role is pivotal. And I think that women don't understand how pivotal of a role that they can serve without having to go out there and goddamn hunt for food and hunt for goddamn survival. We doing that. So it's like, I need you to be, I don't want to say content, but I need you to feel fulfilled in what it is that you provide. We are equally important in this relationship, but we serve different roles.
So what should the woman bring to the table?
Woman should bring support. Woman should bring counsel. Woman should bring encouragement. Woman should bring inspiration. Like, when I wake up next to you every day and I get out that bed, you ain't going to work, I am. But I need to roll over and look at you and get inspiration to go out there and conquer the fucking world.
You know what it is, bro? I need the 3 bubbles on my head again. I think, Cinnamon, I think you accidentally crushed my ego. Let me just tell you why. Because I took pride, and I take pride in being able to tell. Like, one day we were just sitting down, I said, baby, you ain't worked. You ain't have to pay for a bill or nothing since 2016. Like, and I'm saying it proudly.
Grown man shit.
Like, I'm like, everything. I'm like, you got cars, the houses. Like, I did that. Cinnamon said, why are you throwing it in my face?
Okay.
No, for real. No. But I don't think you know what you listen. Can I talk?
Go ahead.
Let my man finish. He in his bag. Go ahead. He cooking right now. Go ahead, bro.
And when you said that, I had to say, no, I'm not shitting on you, because as a man, I felt good, and And that's my purpose. I felt like, and I think we start bumping heads a lot because you said it again, like, why you throwing stuff on my face? Like, yeah, I don't know. I just think we bumping heads now because you taking what I did and what I can stand on, and when I can sit in these cameras and say I provided for my fiance these last 12 years. I think we bumping heads right now. I don't think you appreciate that. I think you think I'm shitting on you, and I think you so in a rush to show me you can do something on your own, or you don't need me to do that. I think that's where the job stuff coming in at, and I think that's what's going on right now.
When in reality, all bro doing is providing reassurance. For one, if you couldn't do those things, I wouldn't be with you. Let's just put the shit on the table, right? Because we got kids, we got family, we got businesses, we got all of these things. So if something happened to me, this is how men think, and this is how like a lot of women don't understand.
It appears that women sometimes feel like they lose their validity or purpose when that happens. What's your thoughts?
I think a lot of times when let me make sure I got you correct. When what happens?
When you see how like this situation they were talking about when he was saying that he wanted to he was happy that he was able to make her not have to work, but she still felt the need to work. And he said homes, cars, meaning they were very comfortable. If you have multiple homes, you probably could have comfortable and you don't need to work, but she still felt like she wanted to work. He also mentioned that she's doing it for no reason at this point. So I wonder, why do you think that is?
I think women still want to have their own identity outside of that man, their men, right? That's why she wants to work. I think that a lot of times, okay, let's say him, for example, I'm sure he can obviously, because he don't want her to work, because he's saying me, I got this, you know. But Willie also made a good point too, that he said that he thought it was a great idea for his woman, a man's goal, I don't know his exact words, but being able to provide for her. But I think women just want their own identities outside of their man. Like, we have identities before we came together. Whether we were business owners, whether we are, whatever we are prior to us getting together and building a relationship, I think women want to still be able to keep that. And I think a lot of times women may lose that solely focusing on a man's career or just focusing on what he wants to do as opposed to what the woman wants to do. So she loses her identity, or could lose her identity because of it. But yeah.
So Jay, do you think that motherhood / homemaker is enough?
I think to Lakeisha's point, yeah, people do lose their identity in the roles that they play. And I think that's either men or women. You know, I have 5 daughters. I raised my daughters. I stayed a portion at home, you know, caring for them. And then it's easy if you're in the household to get lost in all the roles that you play. And then you forget sometimes to focus on yourself, right? But I think that the same thing, men go through the same thing. They are the provider. They have to, or I'll say so-called, right? These roles, they're a provider. They're supposed to make sure they take care of the home. And we're talking about, you know, marriage or family dynamics. And then it's easy for people to lose their identity in what they actually have to do. But I think that a lot of times we talk about everybody wants like a person that is going to be there to support them, to see them where they are, to love them, to nurture them, right? Men or women. We all have, sometimes a man may take a lead in an area, and sometimes a woman may take the lead as necessary. And I think that we're looking for this person, but that person has to be healed and whole, right? Or healing. We can't, we expect this provider from a man who isn't capable, because maybe their mindset isn't that. We have different characteristics. Some people want to stay home and care for their children and you know, be home in that dynamic. And some women don't want to be home. So I feel like we make it seem like there's like an A and B, and there's not just an A and B box.
Good enough.
If anybody else wants to.
True, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that some of these conversations develop because, as you can tell, we have a lot of different perspectives, right? And what stood out to me the most was what Lakeisha said about the loss of identity, which I typically, not to pick on you at all, it's just something you stated. I hear that a lot from women. And I think that that's sometimes a disparity that we're having. I personally don't understand what that means. I've only ever been a man, and then developing a relationship, I was never concerned about my loss of identity in the development of the relationship. What it sounds like to me a lot of times is that what Trill even said in the video, women operate a lot in fear. So for whatever reason, and this is my opinion, there's something going on to where young ladies are not instructed that they're kind of like individual entities that are to be acquired. The whole point of a relationship from a man to a woman is acquisition. That's the whole point. So what you have is supposed to be acquired. That's how it's looked at least in the mind of most men, right? And I think sometimes that's where we're having this clash occur, because lives are being developed, babies are being born that aren't mine, connections are being made that I had nothing to do with. And now you have all this life, great, but then I'm still looking to acquire you. How do we do that successfully? Lots of conversations, lots of healing, like Jay has been saying. But I think that people romanticize this and don't really have the tools to do it effectively. Because again, I personally don't know any men that is trying to change a woman's identity. I think we embrace who you guys are when we meet you. Now learning how to develop and maximize your skills, talents, whatever it may be, care for you, love for you, look out for you in this relationship is what we're looking to do. And there seems to be this like reluctance of, well, don't try to change my identity. The reality is, if you've lived long enough as an adult, 25, 30 years plus, every development in life is going to require a change. So if you went from some point in a company to maybe running a department, if you went from entry level to, C-suite, internship to whatever, the idea of you not changing is blasphemous. You're going to change. And if you're not willing to do that, then just let that young man know up front, look, I'm cool to rock alongside you, but I'm not trying to change. I'm cool with what I got going on. If you cool with it, we can move forward. And I don't think that that's an honest approach to most relationships, which is why we have a lot of discourse.